Hey everybody, how's it going? You know what? The lighting's not too bad. I don't think I need the webcam light on for tonight. Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Apologies for tonight's stream being so late. What the hell? Why is my stream behind? Oh, it's because YouTube's being a dumb. It's being a dumb. Anyways, hello everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Apologies for tonight being super late. Got caught up in the Summer Games Fest stuff, and I had to make myself some dinner. I hadn't eaten yet, and had to belt out a script for Mojo Plays too. So, and if my hair looks abnormally neat and shiny, it's because I just got out of the shower not too long ago. You know what? There we go. A little bit of soft lighting. Just a little bit. And I want give me my blue hue. There we go. Yeah. Actually, do I like it like that? I don't know if I do. Well, now it just looks like I don't even have a webcam light on. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm good. Anyways, so yeah, it's been a hell of a week in terms of releases and stuff. So we'll get to that in a minute. But tonight I kind of want to keep things chill. We'll gab for a little bit. Son of a bitch, I see that I dropped some frames at one point. Oh boy. Don't tell me this is an omen of things to come. Can't do a stream without some problems, right? But it's okay. I see that it's not going up, so we should be a-okay. Might have just been a slight hiccup. Anyways, yeah, tonight I'm gonna keep things somewhat chill. We're not gonna be starting a new game. If anything, we're just gonna jump into a random game. Well, somewhat random. So I want to try and finish up Lego Batman. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of collectible stuff later on once we finish talking about showcase stuff. So what did everybody think of the showcase? Everybody like it? Everybody like Summer Games Fest? Everybody like PlayStation State of Play? I hope everyone saw at least a couple of games that they're eager to play. I thought the State of Play. I'll give you some an overview of my thoughts. The State of Play I thought was pretty solid. It was solid all around. A lot of really neat games were shown. Let me see here. I got Push Square. Push Square has a really nice roundup article about everything that was announced. I'll kind of bounce around here and go through some of the big stuff. So they opened up with Marvel's Wolverine, which looks good. You know, I'm gonna get it the day it comes out. It's just I wish Insomniac wasn't being delegated to be the Marvel studio within PlayStation. It's a little upsetting for me as an Insomniac fan, because I liked some of the stuff that they put out. Granted, most of the time they've been doing Ratchet, but I like Ratchet and Clank. We need more Ratchet and Clank. But after the PS3 era, I think that they would tell me different. People don't want Ratchet and Clank as much as they think they do. I do, though. I love Ratchet and Clank. But I hope that... Granted, that leak from a few years ago says different, but it's like, I hope that within the next year, hopefully they'll be putting out something that's not Marvel-related. Hopefully. But something tells me that's not going to happen. Either way, though, Wolverine does look pretty cool. I don't know if I'm going to stream it, though. That's one of those games where I kind of want it for me. Myself. That's why I didn't stream Lego Batman at all, because it's like, that's a game for me. It's a game for me. And in the streaming world, you kind of got to keep games for yourself. You can't be streaming literally everything. Otherwise, playing video games just feels like work, you know? So let's see. Marvel's Wolverine was there. They also talked about Marvel Tokon, and they showed off a bunch of villain characters, which looks sick. I'm happy that Green Goblin's finally in a video game. It's like, about damn time, dude. How is it that we've been going so long with Spider-Man and Marvel characters, and Green Goblin hasn't really been much of a face anywhere, and he's the Joker to Spider-Man's Batman. What the hell, man? I also like that for Green Goblin, they're going for more of like a literal goblin kind of character. Because, you know, most, like, a lot of Western studios, when it comes to characters like Green Goblin, they try to make them more realistic as possible, which ends up being boring. I like it when comic book stuff gets a little bit supernatural, you know? So, even if it doesn't make sense when you look at who the real person is behind the mask, it's like, I don't give a shit. Make Green Goblin look like a freaking goblin. What else? What else do I want to go in here? Here we go. This game called Kamuri, which is Ikumi Nakamura's new video game. I love her art style. For those who forget, Ikumi Nakamura, she was originally going to be the director of Ghostwire Tokyo, and then she wound up leaving Tango Gameworks somewhere like mid-development, like I want to say either right before COVID or during COVID, and then shortly after she had a kid, and for a while she was doing what seemed to be freelance work for the most part. Like she worked on a few games, just doing like narrative stuff, art direction. Like there's a costume in Dead by Daylight that she designed that I thought was really interesting. And then last year there was an indie game she worked on that I really enjoyed. Like I think it was my number 2 or my number 3 favorite game from last year. It's called Promise Mascot Agency. She designed the Bible for that game. Like she worked on the design Bible, the lore, the story, all that good stuff. So if you haven't checked out Promise Mascot Agency, I highly recommend you do. It's really awesome. So when Kamuri comes out, I'm definitely going to be picking that up. I like her style. What else here? What else in this roundup jumped to me? Oh yeah, they showed off the new Tomb Raider, and I'm very conflicted. I am very, very conflicted about how to even approach that. So, $60. It's a remake of the original game, and Lara looks amazing. And then come to find out that developers were using generative AI during the development, and it's not even... Here's where I want to be on their defense, is at least it's not generative AI in, the AI created levels, the AI created, it created the character models, it created the rendering, like stuff like that, or the rigging, I mean, not the rendering, but the rigging, for the animations and stuff. It didn't create that, but what it did create was, like, images for inspiration. That was Crystal Dynamics' excuse for using generative AI during development, which I'm just like... It's like, okay, so the generative AI is not exactly in the game, right? That's a good thing, but also you used generative AI for inspiration, for like exploring concepts. That to me just doesn't make any sense, because it's like you're remaking the original game. A lot of the environments and stuff that you should be looking at is already there. So why aren't you just playing the video game and being like, oh, we should touch up this area. Oh, wouldn't it be cool if the lighting reflected this way? Wouldn't it be cool if we added like cracked rocks and vines and stuff? Like, I don't frickin' know. Like, play the damn game and take notes and just be like, oh, we could do this thing. Yeah, that'd be cool. Let's see what that looks like. And then just put together a rough thing. Like, I don't I don't understand, and this isn't even just Crystal Dynamics that's done this, it's been a number of different developers over the last few years where they've been outed for using generative AI, and they're like, oh, but we only used it during the concept phase. But it's like, brother, do you not have concept artists? Because that's the point of having concept artists, is to help you realize what you want to do next, what kind of game you want to do, what's speaking to you and the team. Like, and if you don't have dedicated concept artists, then get your team of artists to do shit. Get your writers to come up with something. Like, have a game jam, have a brainstorm. It's not that hard. Like, why are we letting generative AI go out and plagiarize other people's artwork so that it can show you, look what I plagiarized. That's really cool. We should do something like that. Anyways, no more generative AI. Let's do that thing. Yeah, that thing. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So, like, I'm so conflicted now, because it's like, I do want to play this game. And at the end of the day, the generative AI is not exactly in the game, but it's the fact that it was even used at all. And it's like, do you guys not have a thought? A single thought? Again, not to sound like a broken record, but again, all you had to do is boot up the original Tomb Raider, which you can do in a number of ways already. Hell, you could even boot up just Tomb Raider Anniversary and look at that for inspiration. Like, it just boggles my mind. You used generative AI during the pre-development stages of a remake of a game that's been remade already. And it's been ported several times over to modern hardware since 1996. And not only that, but it was ported again literally 2 years ago. Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered starring Lara Croft. Go buy the game. Assuming you don't have Aspire's number and you can't just, or whoever the publisher was, and you can't just be like, hey, can you give us a code, or can you give us a copy of this, and blah, blah, blah. What are we doing? What are we doing? Makes no freaking sense at all. And the same thing applies to the Crimson Desert developers, the Expedition 33 developers especially, because it's like, you guys made an awesome game, but the fact that you use generative AI for, like, concept stuff, I mean, come on, man. Come on. It's not that hard. Watch this. You ready? I'm designing a brand new mug. I'm looking at this mug. You know, it'd be really cool, instead of having this simple metal rod, what if it had, like, a circle, and then we put in a small little piece right here, so that it looks a little bit more like the QuakeCon queue. That was just an idea I spitballed right here on the spot. To show you guys, it's not that hard to do a concept thing, to do a brainstorm. Spitball. There's no shame in doing it. There's also no reason to use generative AI when you can just do that. And if someone wants to say it's stupid, oh, okay, you know, fair enough. That's a stupid idea, Ty, because you know what's going to happen is this, putting the rod down here, it's going to pierce somebody's hand. Oh, you know what? Fair enough. That's fine by me. So it's very disappointing. I was saying to a friend I might seek out a used copy of Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, because it's just, again, in the defense of the devs, the generative AI isn't actually in the game. But the fact that it was used at a stage that just doesn't even, it's not even necessary to use generative AI. It's just, it's so frustrating to me. So, I don't know. I'm going to have like a serious conversation with myself on whether or not I really, really want to get this. And I really do, because seeing the gameplay trailer, seeing Lara's model, seeing some of the different environments and how they're reimagined here. It's like I'm looking at the screenshots here on Push Square, and they're just so good. They're so good. Like, I feel like this is going to be a somewhat of a technical marvel when it comes out. I mean, I was saying this to my roommate, too. Like, freaking, you can see Lara's abs just from the how tight her tank top is. It's like, holy shit, this is one of the best looking video games I've ever seen. Not just because of Lara's abs. That's just an example. It's like one of the things I noticed. Other than that, it's like the detail in the environments is freaking immaculate, man. Like, it looks like a completely different game. Even though I recognize some of these moments here. But, again, the fact that they made just such a dumb decision as, let's let the generative AI think for us. Yeah, we like your idea, generative AI. It's so dumb, man. So dumb. Any developers watching this, stop using generative AI during your pre-development phase. Stop using it at all. You're creatives. Create. Watch, I end up giving myself a little bit of brain damage just from doing that. Sup, brother? Completed Halo 2. Didn't know Halo 2 has the hardest campaign in any Halo. I had a frustrating heroic run. Sup, unknown boy? Glad you could make it. Appreciate you being here. Being on Twitch in all places, too. I've been this close to cutting my support on Twitch and not streaming here anymore. So, what did they add in the AI? They didn't add AI to Tomb Raider, as far as we're aware. It's the fact that they kind of got ahead of the curve before they got outed for it. But they used generative AI during the pre-development of Tomb Raider: Legacy of Atlantis. So basically, they used it during the concept phase of the game, which, not to repeat myself and go on another 10-15 minute tirade, but it's just like, what? You're telling me you couldn't look at screenshots at least and come up with ideas for yourself of like, oh, wow, dude, we could do this, you know? YouTube has viewers there? I mean, I don't know. I have a multi-chat up, so I'm streaming on both YouTube and Twitch right now. But so yeah, but because of that, I'm trying to figure out. I'm gonna have to figure out if I really do want to get this game, or if I'm just gonna try and look for a used copy or something. So, because it's frustrating and. It's frustrating and disappointing enough to where I kind of don't want to buy the game, but also this game looks amazing. It looks like a ton of fun to play. And I really enjoyed my time with Tomb Raider Anniversary. So, I don't know, man. I got a difficult conversation with myself ahead of me. So, but what else was in this state of play that really spoke to me? No Rest for the Wicked looked okay. I'm not really super into the whole Dark Souls but a Diablo format and perspective, so I might skip out on that. Onimusha looks awesome, but I have no experience with the franchise, so I don't know if I'm ever going to touch it. Maybe in the future, but before this new game comes out, probably not. That Stuntman Hollywood game looks really awesome. Apparently that was a cult classic on PlayStation 2. So... Is Summer Game Fest just a nothing burger? Anything worth? Oh, I'm going to get to that in a little bit. Actually, I might just get to it right now, because looking ahead, Until Dawn 2 was a massive surprise for me. Like, I was sitting there, and and I'm like, is this Uncharted? Because they're focusing on this girl in the crop top quite a bit, and they're in the jungle. So, like, is this Uncharted? And then they show this dude getting his guts spilled out, and I'm like, that ain't Uncharted. That is way too visceral. That is way too visceral for an Uncharted game. And then I recognized the dude that was staring into the eye lens, and I'm like, oh, it's what's his name from Until Dawn? It's an Until Dawn game. It's weird, though, because this game is coming out 11 years after the original game. So, like, I hope Fire Sprite's got, like, a really cool idea there. It looks like they do. It's funny because I was talking with somebody on Discord while the state of play was happening, and we were watching the Until Dawn 2 trailer, and they had and there was the part where they show what happens when you push one of the characters off the cliff, and it's like a horrible mess. And I just get a message on my Discord from them saying, "Okay, so don't push Luke off the cliff." Never played Until Dawn. We'll have to play through it together at some point. I've been trying to go for the platinum trophy for both the original and the remake, but it requires so many playthroughs, man. So many playthroughs. Oh yeah, you reminded me. So Rayman's back, son. And oh my god, it looks amazing. Rayman looks so incredible, dude. So incredible. Like, I was so mesmerized between the animation and the visuals and the colors themselves and the different gameplay perspectives too, and the cutscenes. I'm like, this is basically an entirely brand new game. So, in case none of you remember, last week I had said how a couple of people who know of the project had emailed me and said, "Hey man, it's real. You're going to want to record if you're not planning already," which obviously I didn't. But I actually messaged them back, and I told them the same thoughts that I had last week, where I was like, I don't know about this, man. I'm kind of disappointed that the remake is based on Rayman Legends, and it's not anything else. It's not like Rayman 2 or even Rayman 3, so I'm sure you guys are going to do great work, but, you know, sucks that, like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's a little disappointing to know that you guys are remaking the previous game, like the last game that we got 13 years ago. After seeing that reveal trailer, I messaged them back and I was like, I am so sorry. I was so wrong about what I thought you guys were doing. Like, this is incredible, man. It is incredible. I love it. I absolutely love it. It was so cool. I love the voices of all the characters too. Like, I remember hearing Rayman make his little mumbles, what was it, in Sparks of Hope? And I wasn't sure about it, but it's grown on me over the years. I kind of dig it. I also like Glowbox's voice and what's her name? I think it's Barbella. No, that's the name of a Dragon Quest character. I think it's just Barbara. But the barbarian girl, she's adorable, just like she was back then. And I love the cutscenes. I love a lot of the camera shots. There's so much I love about that, about everything I saw in that trailer. Like, it's time, man. It's time. I'm gonna have to start streaming Rayman Legends soon, because I really want to do like a compare and contrast when that game comes out. Just like what I'm gonna do with Star Fox in a couple of weeks. So, yeah, UB's last stable. Hope it just don't fuck up with games and doesn't add any Western politics to the game. It's Rayman, man. It's Rayman. And if anything, every video game's got politics to it in some way. So, I think they're changing. I mean, Ubisoft is changing, but they're changing in terms of like the corporate restructure. So, They're changing their entire production line, it seems. Which I think from the plan that they've outlined publicly, or maybe it's not publicly, maybe somebody actually leaked the information, but last that I heard about Ubisoft and how they're operating, there was news about how they were going to start having dedicated teams for certain franchises instead of having Ubisoft Montpellier, Ubisoft Singapore, Ubisoft Montreal, Ubisoft whatever, like all these different Ubisoft offices. Like, I think they had talked about how they're going to try and kind of condense a little bit. And they've already shut down a couple of studios, unfortunately. I feel bad for those people, and I hope that they land on their feet. I know that Davide Soliani, who is the director of Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle and the sequel Sparks of Hope, I know that he left Ubisoft a few years back And I don't know what he's doing right now. I don't know if anybody joined him after he left. So, but I'm sure we're probably gonna see their game in like the next couple of years. So, because I think he left shortly after Sparks of Hope. I could be wrong. I have to look into that. It's been some time since I looked into him. But as far as the Rayman remake goes, though, I am happy that the Prince of Persia Lost Crown team, I'm glad that they're all back together, and I'm glad that they're working on this, and I think that they have a truly amazing game ahead of them. So, I dropped frames again. What the frick? Hang on. I don't know when I did, but maybe this will fix it. If I can find... There we go. If I can find my Ethernet port. Anyways. So yeah, I'm glad that the Lost Crown team is back together. I'm glad that they're doing stuff. I'm glad that they're working on Rayman. And I hope that this game sees a ton of success. So, because from what I heard about Lost Crown is a phenomenal game. Truly. And I will be playing it soon. I will. Because I want to do my homework. I want to see what they got. And if Lost Crown turns out to be like one of my favorite games ever, like, I think we'll be in good hands. I would love to see them become the Rayman team, truly. So, I'm waiting for Killer Bean Game for PC. It's releasing on coming 8th. Like, June 8th? Or July 8th? August 8th? What 8th are we talking about? Anyways, and then they ended on God of War La Fey, which, people have totally been acting super normal about. Super normal. Because, you know, in this world, every single video game has to appeal to every single one of us, including us classic God of War fans who haven't had a classic God of War since 2013. And have now gone 2 whole games that were not classic God of War at all. So it's almost like, you know, we had our time in the sun. So maybe we leave the fan base? Like, that's not a terrible idea. Not a terrible idea. But no, everybody's got to stick around. Everybody's got to act like every single video game is meant for them. So, people acting like, oh, there's no Kratos in this game, what the hell? When in that demo, there were at least 2 shots of Kratos in the game. And he's clearly a plot device in Faye's story. At what point do these weirdos on Twitter and YouTube, at what point do these weirdos just outright say, hey, I'm sexist. I just don't like women, you know? Like, just say it, man. At least you'd have some sort of honesty to you. Just say it. But no, we got to play it like it's like we're in some Machiavellian fucking dystopia and things are trying to be erased. Can't act normal over a frickin' video game. Like, my God, man. My God. Like, I saw the game and it looks awesome. I don't know if I'm going to get it because I just, like, this is what I'm talking about, okay? So, I played Ragnarok back when that came out a few years ago. Also, the video is stuck on frame. What are you talking about? Hang on a sec. Freaking. You say it's stuck on frame, and I see what you're talking about on Twitch, but on YouTube, it's a different story. I'm not saying you're a liar or anything. I'm just saying, like, this is one of the reasons why I don't want to stream on Twitch anymore. So, now it's not. I don't know, man. I don't know. Twitch clearly doesn't want to work. It doesn't want to work. So, I apologize. But, no, yeah. I highly recommend here. You know what? What if I did this? What if I did... Hang on. Oh, God, no. Okay. Here's the thing. I was going to flip this switch for Twitch to maybe restart. But, nah. We're just going to go ahead and we're just not going to mess with that. Because it brought me to a login screen. And if I touch that, it's going to fuck up everything. So, is there a way for me to... Let's see. Nope, I can't disconnect from Twitch. So, sorry for those of you watching on Twitch. I don't know what's going on. Everything's fine on YouTube. Like, I have it pulled up on stream here, and it's doing just fine. So, I don't know. I'll look into it over this weekend. But, highly recommend. Here, I'll go ahead. Where is... Can I just, like... Let me see here. Hang on. I can't just go to the regular YouTube page from here. I'm gonna have to go and actually... Hang on. No! Damn it! I can actually delete a stream while I'm still alive. There's no way. I'm not going to attempt it right now, but there's no way. All right, here. There. I put the link to the stream in the Twitch chat. So, if you want to go there and watch, be my guest, please. I would highly advise it, because clearly something's going on with Twitch right now. And I don't know what. It looks fine again on my end. Like, I'm watching it on Twitch right now, and it's not freaking out. Yeah, it's not freaking out. Like, the frame's not... I don't know. Who knows? Maybe Twitch just had, like, a weird hiccup or some shit. I don't know. Anyways. Back to the God of War thing. I was going on about culture war bullshit for a second. Oh, yeah. So this is what I'm talking about with the whole God of War and not buying the game and not liking the game and everything. When I played Ragnarok, I stuck with it for 7 hours and it still wasn't hitting me. I took that as a sign of maybe God of War's not for me anymore. Maybe this just isn't it. This is clearly the direction that they want to take God of War in, and I'm not about it. But you know what? I can always go back and play the Greek games, because they're all right there, all on PlayStation, available through streaming. And I know that streaming sucks. Streaming your video games sucks. It's not something I normally advocate for, but it's like if you desperately want to go and play the OG Greek God of Wars, well, guess what? All of them are there. All of the PS3 versions are there. You got God of War HD. You got God of War 2 HD. You got God of War 3. You got God of War Ascension. You got God of War PSP, which is 2 games right there. You got like 6 or 7 games right there. And then God of War Remastered. God of War 3 Remastered, I mean. So if you want classic God of War, they're all there. You just gotta Pay for a month of PlayStation Premium and they're right there. And they're not long games either. I think it took me 6 hours to do the long play of God of War 1. Exactly, Unknown Boy. Emulation also exists, and PS3 emulation is going crazy on optimization. That is 100% true. I have messed with RPCS3. It is way better than it ever has been. I was trying that sucker out with 3D Dot Game Heroes. I was playing Naughty Bear at 60 frames per second, which I never thought I'd see. So it's like, you have options, man. At what point do you just say, either I'm sexist or God of War's not for me anymore? I don't understand why people have to act like they have this gun to their head of, you're a fan of this? Well, now you gotta play every single game. Every single game in the franchise. You have to play it, you have to buy it no matter what. And what's sad is, I know why they're acting this way. And it's because on Twitter, you can make money from engagement. And so all of these fools on Twitter, on YouTube, they act this way because they know that people will get mad and they'll go and comment and dislike and then possibly even share it with people to be like, look at this dumbass. And unfortunately, people keep falling for it. Even though I've sat here and said time and time again, between Mojo Plays, between my channel here, like, these people, they don't play video games. They just don't. They say this dumb shit because they can make money off of it. They don't actually believe in it. They don't actually have an interest in video games. They don't even have an interest in video games as a serious art form. Not even as a casual hobby. They just don't. So, don't give them the time. Don't share their shit. Don't hit a dislike out of pettiness. Don't comment something mean. Because at the end of the day, whatever buttons you push on their video page, on their social media post, whatever buttons you push, it just tells the algorithm for that platform that you need to see more of it. Don't like, don't retweet, don't quote tweet, don't reply, nothing. That's the other thing, Unknown Boy, is that most of the people you see on Twitter, they're not people, they're actually bots. They're just bots. They're not real at all. So there's no point in arguing with anybody on Twitter anymore. There just aren't. Like, I heard about some study had come out, like, within the last year or so, where they found out that about 50 million of profiles on Twitter are just actually bots. So it's like, who are you actually talking to anymore? I know some of the people that you can talk to. I know that they are real, and it's a lot of the grifters that I can name. I'm not going to name them right now, because I don't want to give them the attention right now. I'll give them the attention when the time's right. But as for, like, the other randos where it's like, they have 200 followers and they're somehow verified on Twitter, it's like, yeah, you're not real. You're not real at all. There's no way you are. So yeah. It's sad, though, that people can't just say, this game's not for me. We gotta go and be misogynistic. We gotta go and just be so out of pocket and not even in a funny way. Even on YouTube, I'm seeing many thumbnails that are just with someone's face and the big text names, and the big text saying, it's over, it's really tiring. I just put on not interested and don't recommend channel. Yeah, that's good. That's exactly how those are the only buttons you should be pushing. Is if you're on YouTube and you see something that you don't like, hit that ellipses, and then you can choose not interested and or don't recommend channel. And what that does is it tells the algorithm, oh, you don't want to see anything from that channel anymore. Gotcha. It's not a block button necessarily, but it does prevent the algorithm from showing you more of that thing. So you might have to do it a few more times depending on what the subject matter is. So, like, just because you hit don't recommend channel and it was on a video that was, like, covering God of War, it doesn't mean it's necessarily going to block all God of War related things, you know? It's just the channel. If anything, not interested is probably the option you would want to pick in that case. But at least for don't recommend channel, man, I have thankfully avoided so many YouTube channels where I'm like, you do not make good videos, man. You just don't. So, not saying that I do, but anyways. So yeah, it looks interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna pick it up though. I do think that it's cool that Jack Quaid is in a God of War game. I like Jack Quaid. I liked his performance as Huey in The Boys. And then he's been on Red Letter Media's videos a few times. So, and I think he's a good fit over there. He's really funny. But so yeah, overall though, state of play, I would say pretty good show. Truly. So, there's definitely a few games on there. Rayman Retold though, I will see you at launch. All right, the big one. Summer Games Fest, which happened roughly 3 to 4 hours ago. And they, man, before hour 2, I was like, dude, I wanna leave. I wanna just go lay down for a minute, please. I don't want Jeff to take that as actual criticism if he ever sees this, but it's just, I've had one of those weeks where I'm like, you know what? I can't wait for the end of the day. I'm ready to rest. I'm ready to kind of chill for a little bit, you know? So, after curating my algorithm to my favorites, now I'm getting older videos which are worth watching. I found old Final Fantasy Dead or Alive fan animation called Dead Fantasy. Oh yeah, I've heard about that. I've actually been meaning to watch that. I'm pretty sure Dead Fantasy was made by the Ruby guy, was it not? What's his name? Monty I think that's his name. And there's like, I'm pretty sure there's a fight between Hitomi and Tifa, which to me, those are the two biggest badasses of their franchises. So I've been wanting to see that. Anyways, so Summer Games Fest happened this evening, and holy shit, a lot happened. Once again, thanks to Push Square for putting together this roundup of all the different announcements. What do I want to start with What do I want to start off with here? Do I want to start off with Stranger Than Heaven, which was really freaking weird? I could be wrong, Unknown Boy, so don't like take my word as fact. I could have sworn it's from him. I could be wrong though. But I'm pretty sure, like, did he do Dead Fantasy before he did Ruby? Or was it the other way around? It was one of them. Obviously extremely hard game. Oh, dude, no. Don't get me wrong, extremely hard game looks interesting, but it is not a game for me. I am not about games that are openly, deliberately designed to be super difficult. I'm just not about it. But I know, I have a very strong feeling a lot of streamers and a lot of YouTubers are going to be jumping onto that. Also, hello Spanky, hope you're doing well. Glad to see you again. I think a lot of people are gonna be jumping onto that game. What else? There was Attack on Titan 3. I don't know anything about Attack on Titan, so that was kind of that was like a pee break for me. It was like, oh, time to go to the bathroom. No disrespect. It's just I don't know anything about Attack on Titan. I have no interest in that anime whatsoever. So when they announce, oh, the third video game, I'm just like, it does nothing for me. Oh yeah, I was about to talk about Stranger Than Heaven. So I have to ask, was anyone else weirded out by the fact that Tupac however his name's pronounced, is anyone weirded out by the fact that he's in this video game? Because when they showed him when they showed him, I didn't recognize him at first. I never listened to his music. I didn't know who he was until he was made into a hologram back in, like, what was it, 2010, 2011 or something like that? So there was that whole thing happening. And I immediately, when they said, oh, it's Tupac, I'm like, oh, no. Oh, no. Like, I immediately got flashbacks to when that hologram happened. And people were not thrilled about that. It was memed on for a while in my circles, but oh, man. I saw that and I'm like, I don't know if we should be doing that. It doesn't seem quite right. And when they announced, and when Jeff was like, oh, let me bring out Snoop Dogg, I'm like, oh, frick. They brought him out to be like, yep, I knew him. I know the family. This game has our blessing. I'm like, I don't know, man. Not a good look. Not a good look. So, I don't know, though, because, like I said, I don't know any of Tupac songs. Like, I don't even know how to pronounce his freaking name because I've heard both pronunciations several times. So, I don't really have a horse in this race. I think it's weird, but if the fans want it, if Snoop Dogg wants it, if the estate wants it, well then I guess more power to them, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's very weird to me. Very, very weird. Remember Def Jam? I absolutely remember Def Jam. I didn't really play it, but I had friends who played it. Was he in those? I promise you it is Tupac. Okay. It's like Pac-Man, just 2 in front of Tupac. That's the next step. Is instead of Pac-Man World 2, we're going to get Pac-Man World 2. And it's just going to be Tupac, but with arms and legs. No torso, no waist, no butt. It's just his head, and his arms are where his ears should be, and his legs are where his neck should be. That'd be horrifying. I want to see somebody mod Pac-Man World 2 repack with that. I say that and right after saying, I don't know, man, putting Tupac into a game is really weird. I don't know. I kind of sat there and I'm like, I don't know about this, man. I don't think you want to do this. This is a little off. So, I don't know. I'm going to be paying attention to it, though. I'm not interested in this Stranger Than Heaven game that RGG's doing. So, I don't know if I'm really going to get the game at launch, to be honest. And besides, I feel like I've seen more cutscenes than I've seen any gameplay. And I don't know if that's my fault. I don't know if there was a trailer I missed or something. But yes, you have a vehicle. What kind of music do you listen to? I listen to like a bunch of different stuff, man. I do listen to rap, but it's mostly like freaking, I don't know. Eminem's like the big one. Well, he was the big one. Pretty sure I have a couple of Snoop Dogg songs on there. But for the most part, it's like rock, heavy metal. I do listen to some pop. There's actually a lot of good pop artists out there. A little bit of R&B is somewhere in there too. So, but I listen to a bunch of different shit. So, hey man, just stopping by to say hi. It's been a while. I appreciate it, e-gaming. I hope you're doing well. We're talking about Summer Games Fest stuff. I know you love Demon Dice. Oh yeah, Demon Dice is great. I love her. She's awesome. Do you have a top 5 favorite artists at least? Weird Al. No kidding. I love Weird Al. Let me think. Ninja Sex Party. They're awesome. Their songs are amazing. I like their covers. Granted, I've been behind over the last couple of years, so I haven't listened to any of their new stuff in a while. And I'm just going to lump them in with Tupperware Remix Party. They're also great. Basically, anything with Dan in it. Because Dan's got amazing vocals. I actually did a presentation on Dan back in college. So, but Weird Al and Ninja Sex Party. I've been listening to Linkin Park a lot recently. I don't know why. I think it's because I've listened to a lot of their songs before, but I never knew the names of them. Because, like, Linkin Park was getting blasted around quite a lot when I was growing up. Like, their songs were on the radio all the time. I just didn't know who they were. I didn't know what they sounded like, and I didn't know what the name of their songs were. All I knew was that there was... What I've Done was the closing song for Transformers, which I always thought was weird. Like, that's not exactly a song I would have closed out a Transformers movie to, but whatever. It's Michael Bay. So, you know what? I don't know why I'm sitting here trying to think of shit off the top of my head when I got Spotify literally right here. Let me go through here. I'll tell you what, one of my favorite video game albums is the Spyro the Dragon soundtrack by Stuart Copeland. That shit's amazing. Like, I'll be sitting down and writing scripts or drawing or whatever, and I'll just put that soundtrack on. It's so good. The Sonic Frontier soundtrack's also really good. Doom, Crypt of the Necrodancer. Oh, Sabrina Carpenter and Dua Lipa. Those are my two favorite pop idols right now. Especially Dua Lipa. Like, I would love to see Dua Lipa in concert, man. Her music slaps. I have yet to hear a song from her where I've thought, nah, this ain't good, man. Every song I've heard from Dua Lipa has been solid at the least. So her music's just so great. Like, if I could dance at all, her music would be my life. So Don't Start Now, freaking Physical, Hallucinate, Dance the Night, recently. Man-Child is a bop. Dude, Man-Child, I would say, is Sabrina Carpenter's best song. I don't understand why people got so caught up in Espresso. I think that's her worst song, personally. To me, Man-Child's her best song. And right behind that is Vicious. Oh, shit. I always forget the name of the song. Oh, God, you know what? I got Spotify right here. Why am I not looking into it? Let me pull up her Spotify page. Nonsense is a really good one. I think that one's really funny. Here it is. Emails I Can't Send. This is my favorite album of hers. Read Your Mind. That's it. That's the one I was thinking of. Everything else on here was pretty all right. But Vicious and Read Your Mind are the two best songs from that album. What else have I got on here? I got the Danganronpa soundtracks on here. That music is just so good. I love how unique it is. It's a lot of sounds that you just don't hear anywhere else. I have some songs from Forza Horizon, specifically the Horizon Pulse radio station, because that radio station has a lot of really good jams in there. So that's like how I found out Gorillaz was still making music, because Valley of the Pagans is like really, really good. That's actually one of my new favorite songs of all time. And then All of the Time by Jungle, that's how I found out about them. Preach by Saint Motel. Africa by Clubs. Africa. New Heartbreak by Sad Alex. I gotta get into her music a lot more, because that song is really, really good. I'm ready for a new heartbreak. I used to listen to quite a bit of Amy Winehouse back in the day, shortly after she died. So I got some of her songs saved on here, but I don't really listen to hers as much. Like, I think the only song that I like to listen to every now and again is Back to Black, which is her most iconic song. I have some Avenged Sevenfold in here. Granted, I haven't really listened to them in a while. Motorhead, I love Lemmy. Lemmy was such a god, dude. Him and Ozzy. Like, when Ozzy kicked the bucket last year, I'm like, damn. It took a little too long, in my opinion, but damn, dude. The fact that that guy lived as long as he did is genuinely impressive. So, I really love Shin Megami Tensei OST as a whole. I know nothing about Shin Megami Tensei outside of Persona. So, I'm going to have to change that at some point. I do own some of the SMT games, just for some reason I'm so fixated on Persona. So, Espresso's good, though. Absolute earworm. I beg to differ, man. I think Espresso's annoying. Do you do the hand movements to accompany the Danganronpa tracks? No, not really. I don't even know what hand movements you're talking about. 3 Days Grace or Animal I've Become by Skillet. Oh, Skillet I used to listen to, actually. Like, I used to listen to them a little bit back in high school. I haven't really listened to anything, though, since, was it Monster that was the last album of theirs that came out? Let me see. Let's go and look at Skillet. Because when I started listening to their music, that's the album. Awake had just come out. Awake had come out, and then... Oh, yeah, that's right. I listened to Unleashed, and I wasn't really about it. I don't know why. I listened to the entire album, and I was just like, this is kind of mid. So, and since then, I haven't really listened to anything. But Awake was the big one. So, Hero was great. Monster was great. I liked, I'm pretty sure I liked Believe. Was it Believe or Forgiven? It was one of those two. But looking at some of these songs, like, I recognize the titles, but for some reason the sounds aren't hitting me. So, Skillet was really good. I got a lot of Eminem on here, but I think I already mentioned that. I got a couple of Rise Against songs on here. Three Doors Down, although it's the song that you probably think I have on here, which is Kryptonite. If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? I got Eddie Money on here. Take me home tonight. I don't want to let you go till you see the light. That one's a good one. Scatman John. Scabbity bobbity bobbity. I'm a scat man. By the way, you guys... So, I can't take credit for figuring this out. But you guys have to go and pull up I'm a Scat Man. It can be whatever video, alright? Just as long as it's like the Scatman music video, a lyrics video, whatever. I want you to go pull up I'm a Scat Man. Immediately pause the video before you play it and listen to it. Go into YouTube settings and set the playback speed to 0.25 times the speed. Set it to a quarter of the speed. It is the funniest sound and the funniest version of that song you could ever listen to, because Scatman John ends up sounding like he is high as a kite and just off his rocker. Like, it is so freaking funny. He goes like, and it's like that for a solid minute, and then there's like 5 seconds of silence before he goes, I'm a scat man. I highly recommend you guys go and do that, please. Ugh. Hey there, Ray Christ. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. I'm telling I'm telling my chat over on YouTube. I'm multi-streaming right now. I promise you I'm not crazy. I'm telling my chat on YouTube, you guys need to go and pull up Scatman John's I'm a Scatman. And before you even let the video play, go and set the playback speed to 1/4 of the speed. You will get the funniest fucking version of that song possible. It's hilarious. Dude sounds like he's hallucinating. So it's so funny. It's so funny. I missed some of your guys' chat because I had Spotify open. I remember I worked at a gas station when Espresso came out, and it literally played every 3 songs. Torture Man. Exactly. Just listening to Espresso once, I'm like, this song sucks, dude. It's genuinely the worst song I've heard from Sabrina Carpenter. Everything else I think is at least fine. But Manchild? No, Manchild's her best song, man. I love that song. What song is it? I'm high as fuck right now. I'll be looking like a maniac. Manchild's W song. I'm glad we're all on the same page. But Ray Christ, it's I'm a Scatman by Scatman John. He was this dude in the 90s who did like scat jazz. He was really good at it. Unfortunately, he passed away before he even knew he was famous on the internet. What else have I got on here? Okay. All right. Look, bruh, he is having the best. You shut your mouth, unknown boy. Oh, man. Oh, shit. What was I even going to say? You made me forget. Oh, yeah. None of you have the right to say this because they're a genuinely good band. I got Evanescence on here. Evanescence rocks, man. Amy Lee's got some of the best vocals I've ever heard in music, truly. And if anything, my love for Evanescence is probably a sign that I was like a closeted emo back in high school. What else? What else have I got in here? Now, we already talked about Sabrina Carpenter. I'm looking through here. I'm just finding a bunch of repeats now. Dua Lipa, I already nerded out in front of you guys. So, I got a number of the Muppets soundtracks in here. But hey, the Muppets have some really good songs, especially from the first movie, the 2011 movie. Okay, and just those two movies. Oh, Christmas Carol. Sorry. Christmas Carol, definitely. Oh. What else? Of course, I got some Michael Jackson in here. Again, Demon Dice. Oh, and if it's not obvious already, just from like from my streams and everything, of course I got Persona Music on my Spotify. Of course. Lynn? Come on, man. She's one of the most perfect singers out there. And Persona Music in general is pretty flawless. Of course I got AC/DC. I love me some classic metal. Dragon Force, Queen, Gunship. I got a few Disney soundtracks in here, but it's nothing super notable. Like Hercules. I love Hercules' score, man. Hercules is really, really good. I got the God of War 3 soundtrack. A lot of video game soundtracks in here. But I promise you guys, I do listen to, like, music. Like, regular music. I do have some, like, Beat Saber songs in here, but I mostly switch between, Rum and Bass and what is it? The Morgan Page one. Reason for Living. I don't know why I blanked out on that song. Dua Lipa is Queen. That is the only correct answer in life, Ray Christ. That is the only correct answer. Dua Lipa is Queen now and forever. They say Beyonce is the queen of pop or whatever. Nah, man, that ain't true. All due respect to Beyonce. But Dua Lipa's the queen. She's the empress. I just watched the Scatman music video. Oh, man. She is slay material. Her song with Pop Smoke was goated. Oh, man. Dua Lipa's way too good, dude. Way too good. Completely unrelated to Demon Dice, do you also listen to Calliope Mori? I do not. This is actually the first time I'm ever hearing of this person. You know what? I assume they gotta have a Spotify, right? You got the name mixed up. It's Maury Calliope. Let me see. Number 1 most popular song on this person's Spotify is Let's Just Crash. All right, I listened to about 18 seconds. I'm going to have to listen to more of this weekend. I'm going to have to listen to more of it. It's honestly speaking to me on some level. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I'll have to get back to you guys on that. You know what? I have this monster mash of a playlist here. Let's see what's in here. Let's dig through here and see what random ass songs I got in here. I got 2 different iterations of Maniac. In case you guys don't know, she's a maniac. It's that one. I got I recently added Party Man, which is the Prince song in the 1989 Batman movie. Yep, there's a bunch of Linkin Park. There's Kiss from a Rose by Seal. I put that on there because I saw the one of the trailers for Lego Batman, and I'm like, why is Seal the song of choice in this trailer? And people called me out in the comments being like, what do you mean it's the song of choice? It was in this movie. And I'm like, I don't really watch that Batman movie. I don't think it's a good Batman movie. I think it was either Batman and Robin or Batman Forever. I can't remember which one, but it's like, well, no wonder I don't remember this song. It's one of the Batman movies I don't give a shit about. That's why I don't remember Kiss from a Rose being associated with Batman. But it's a good song. I love that song. Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the gray. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Such a good song. I think I listened to it. I think the other day I listened to it about 6 times in a row for some reason. I don't even know why. Yep, there's Lynn. I got Infinity and Break In to Break Out from the Persona 5 anime. Those are both really, really good songs. I especially love Infinity. Like, of all the music that's been made for Persona 5, I would argue Infinity might be the best one in my book. And I feel a little guilty saying that because that's not even a part of the game. It's a part of the frickin' anime. So I love that he refuses to explain any of the lyrics. Are you talking about Demon Dice? Or no, or not Demon Dice. Maury Calliope? You watch anime? I do every now and again. Are you diehard otaku? No, I am not. I am not. And it's funny because, like, I have a subscription to Crunchyroll, and yet I haven't watched anything in months. I haven't watched a single anime in months, man. Oh, I'm talking about Seal? Oh, yeah. I didn't even know about that, but looking at the lyrics for Kiss from a Rose, it's like, I understand what you're saying. I understand the feeling you're trying to evoke. It's just when you really look at the lyrics, some of it doesn't make any sense. Like the fact that the song opens up with there used to be a big wait, what was it? Freaking let me pull up the lyrics here. Hang on. It's oh yeah. There used to be a graying tower alone on the sea. And then he doesn't even talk about that tower for the remainder of the song, and it's like, are you trying to I think you're trying to evoke isolation? But again, it's like when you really look at the words, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Are those manga shelves? Are those mangas behind me? Are you talking about this shelf right here? Because this isn't manga. These are all PS5 games. PS5 games, DS games, PS4 games, 360 games higher up over here. This top shelf right here. I do have some mangas, though. They're just, they're on that shelf behind me. But I think the only mangas you can see... Actually, I don't think you could see any of them. But, what about in the middle? In this one? Nothing here. It's just figures. So, like, I got yeah, figurines. Like, I got 2 Crash Bandicoot controller holders. I got a... Oh, here we go. Can at least show you guys this. This is a little Banjo-Kazooie amiibo I got here. So, for a second, I thought Banjo's eyes were off. Nah, they're fine. They painted them just fine. But I got that. I also got this. Check this shit out. This is a little golden Jiggy. I think it only costs like $30, but they only made a limited supply of them. So, what are you reading right now? I'll tell you what I'm reading. I'm reading 2 things. 2 things, if I can reach. So, I'm the first book that I'm reading, I'm actually reading it for a video that I'm working on right now, for my channel. You're not going to see the video in a little bit, but I felt like it was important reading material. I recently got Ray Kroc's autobiography. It's called Grinding It Out. This is his, like I said, this is his autobiography. He wrote this himself, probably with a ghostwriter, because the guy's not exactly, I don't view him super favorably. But I'm talking about him in a video that I'm working on. And so I figured, you know what, I want to hear it from the guy himself, at least. So I decided, you know what, it's only about 200 pages, right? Yeah, roughly 200 pages in here. So let me see what his side of the whole story with the history of McDonald's is like, you know? And let me tell you, a lot of my presumptions about him kind of proven true. So the guy is very much a storyteller, but in the shadiest way possible. So, you're far off from the music I listen, which isn't only metal. Oh, I appreciate you stopping on by, Lamb. Thank you. This one I'm reading more for leisure. This one's called Lights, Camera, Game Over. It is a collection of essays about the production of various movies based on video games. I've been admittedly bouncing around. So I went back to the beginning of not the movie. I went back to the beginning of the book to start reading the first chapter, which is about the Super Mario Brothers movie from 1993. But I had jumped ahead initially because I was working on something related to Dead or Alive, and I noticed that there was a whole chapter about Dead or Alive, the movie, in here. What do you mean by shady? I mean, there's a way that Ray Kroc kind of carries himself and the way he talks about things to where I don't exactly trust him. Like, I don't trust what he's saying to be the entire truth behind certain things. Does it got illegal activities? I don't think so, no. I don't think so. It's just the way, again, like the way that he talks and the way he presents himself and the way he presents certain things. There's a part of me that I'm like, I don't know if I should really be trusting what you're saying. Not 100%. I don't know about 50%, possibly. But there are just some things that he says where I'm like, there's a part of me that thinks you're trying to paint a really pretty picture, and I like the picture, but I don't trust it at all. Because this is, in case, for some of you who may not know, Ray Kroc is credited as being the founder of McDonald's, when really he was not the founder to begin with. It was actually founded by, what are their names? Dick and, are they on here? Shit. I forget their names, but one of the brothers is named Dick. And they were, it was a pair of brothers who opened up their own burger joint in California. And initially, they didn't really have much interest in franchising their name and their business. If anything, they were kind of opposed to it. And Ray just ended up basically stealing the business away from them. So, they had a whole handshake deal that unfortunately he decided, I'm going to be an absolute ass and I'm going to fall back on it and I'm not going to fulfill my end of the bargain and I'm going to pretend like that never happened. So he ended up basically stealing the entire company from him. Yeah, I saw the movie. Yeah. The founder is very much true to the events of what happened behind the scenes and everything. So I've kind of studied up on him here and there, and he's one of those entrepreneurs where I'm like, I wouldn't call you an entrepreneur. I would call you a con artist, dude. You are one of the biggest con artists in history. So it sucks. But I figured, he's been dead for like the last 30, 40 years or so. So, and I think you can get the book for like $5 on Amazon. If you get mass market paperback. So I'm like, friggin' yeah, here's $5. I don't know who this is going to necessarily, but whatever. Let me hear it from the man himself. So, but anyways, this one though, this is a whole collection of stories about the production of various video game movies. So it says like on the back here, it goes over Tomb Raider, goes over Street Fighter, Resident Evil. And there's even a chapter in here about the Dead or Alive movie, and I wanted to cover it in a video for Watch Mojo if there was anything interesting in it. Unfortunately, the chapter ended up being very... like, I wanted to say nothing burger. I wanted to say the chapter felt empty, but I feel like that's not the correct feeling. Because it does have information as to how the Dead or Alive movie came to be and what production was like. It's just, unfortunately, the writer, the author here, Luke Owen, he starts off talking about how the franchise is sexist and that the games are sexist and blah, blah, blah. And then he just immediately kind of goes into the production of the movie and never touches upon it ever again until the very end of the chapter. So I'm just sitting there and I'm like, you clearly had a real axe to grind with this franchise, but it seems to have nothing to do with the movie, at least from what you're informing me of. But then you go back to having this problem with the franchise at the very end of the chapter. Like it doesn't make any sense. So I'm trying to get through it. It's just that chapter really bothered me. Not that I took it as like a personal attack. Like, I know I'm a Dead or Alive fan, but there was just a part of me where it's like, you clearly had this thesis that this franchise is sexist because you spent several pages talking about it. And yet when you got to talking about the movie based on the game, you don't even acknowledge this ever again. Like, it doesn't even make any sense. Like, even the volleyball scene from the movie, you just kind of like, yeah, that was in the movie. It just, it felt like he was wanting to write about 2 or 3 different things at the same time and yet not explain anything. It felt really weird. It felt really, really weird. I'm sure it's not like that for the rest of the book, but to me, it very much felt like it felt like early to mid 2010s Kotaku. That's what it felt like. And I don't know if Luke Owen may have written at Kotaku at one point. I know his name sounds familiar to me, but I don't know where I heard it from. So I do want to read more of the book, though. It's just I hope that he's a little more focused in the other chapters, you know? Dead or Alive is peak. Nothing can top that. Yeah, I am planning to stream Dead or Alive 6 last round at the end of the month because I'm curious to see what the differences are between the core game and this new updated version, because like I actually have I guess to say I have a little bit of history is a little bit of an exaggeration, but like Dead or Alive 6 to me was like a career highlight because Koei Tecmo America actually contacted Watch Mojo, and they ended up asking me to fly to California on their behalf. And that was a trip like no other. Like, I remember leaving California and thinking, you know, this plane could crash right now, and I don't know if I'd care. I think I'd be happy. So I'll have to tell you guys that story when we go through Dead or Alive 6 last round. So I know the fan base is against it, but it's like fucking I don't know. I want to see what it's about. Real talk, you be uploading your content somewhere like on YouTube or TikTok? Yeah, I'm on YouTube. Same name as it is on Twitch, Spectre Bull. You're good at doing reviews like synopses. Thank you, I appreciate it. I do video essays on my channel on YouTube, and I recently put up a review of Dragon Quest Builders. So, and I'm going to do a second review soon. It's actually, I think the second review that I'm going to put out next week, it's going to be Lego Batman, the new Lego Batman game. So, I've been trying to get the Platinum Trophy for this freaking game. And it's been taking me so long. So that's why I haven't done a review of it yet. It's just so tedious. But all this time I had Left 4 Dead in my head. Dead or Alive? Yeah, maybe sex is possible. Yeah, Dragon Quest Builders. I played through the game twice. I did my own playthrough in my downtime, and it ended up swallowing 2 whole weeks of my life. And then I did the long play for it for Long Play Archive. So if you want to see that, it's a 3-parter over on that channel. You got an editor for your channel yet? You're talking to him. I'm a one-man band. I do all the editing, I do all the writing, I do all the voiceover on my channel. The banner that was hastily thrown together, that was me. The profile picture, that was me. And not just in the picture, like I did the photoshopping in that one too. So, everything you see on the channel is done by me. I'm a professional editor. I was checking your YouTube out, and the vids barely got any views. Yeah, it's just how it is, man. So, I just throw the stuff out there. I never played Dead or Alive, but I played a few minutes of the strange PSP game called Dead or Alive Paradise. I'm scared. Yeah, Paradise was kind of like there's like a weird energy with Dead or Alive Extreme. That's like Paradise, I think, was a remake of the original Dead or Alive Extreme, the one that was on original Xbox. I've had some resentment towards that part of the franchise because it's taken over the identity so much. And unfortunately now it's like if you even mention you like Dead or Alive to somebody who's not like familiar with Dead or Alive, you're just going to get weird looks, unfortunately. So it's like you can only talk about it with people who know fighting games at least, or people who are also into Dead or Alive. So, which is sad. One man band or one band man really makes you think. Yeah, it does, man. Turns out, you still use Photoshop? No, I don't use Photoshop. If anything, I use, what's it called? GIMP. I use GIMP. So, I haven't used Photoshop since 2016, 2017? Somewhere in there. I think that was the last time I used Photoshop. And what's weird is, like, if I was to boot up Photoshop, I don't know if I would remember how to use it anymore. It's called what? GIMP. GIMP. I think it stands for like generated image. Hold on. What if I boot it up? Maybe I'll get it. GNU image manipulation program. It's very, very flexible. It took me a long time to actually figure out how to do cool shit in it, but I can do cool shit in it regardless. I can help you out with that. I know ways to make the views fly, gain engagement with SEO and other things. If you're down with it, I can help you out with the edits. I'm okay, man. All due respect, I'm okay. I appreciate the offer, though. Jesus fucking Christ, that's a rough name. Yeah, I know. That's why it's called just GIMP. GIMP. Editing is mad time consuming. I mean, yeah, it is, but it's fun. Video editing can be fun. Like, I threw together the Star Fox video a couple nights ago, and there's the way that video ends. I was like, you know what? I'm proud that I was able to throw that together. It took me almost a full hour for 20 seconds of a stupid bit, but it's cool knowing that I can do something like that. So, how is Adobe still getting money? Oh, wait, it's a jail? Exactly. Like, I've tried to stay as far away from Adobe as possible for the rest of my life. Ever since they switched over to the subscription model roughly 10 years ago, I'm like, no. Not at all. You're not getting a monthly fee out of me. Let me pay for the program and just have it, man. You want to make additional versions? Fine. Do it. But why do we got to complicate things, huh? And then I heard that there's a cancellation fee, and I'm like, that's why. That's why. I watched the Star Fox video today. I'm really excited for it. I appreciate it, Spanky. I'm excited as well. I'm really excited. Like, you have no idea. After I made that video, I went back and I listened to those songs that Nintendo put out on Nintendo Music. I listened to them again. Like, I'm so ready. I'm so ready. But we still got 20 days left. 20! I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it, chat. I don't know what I'm going to do. I know that last month I started playing Star Fox 64 to try and get all the medals. I don't know, man. Am I going to be able to get all of those medals in Star Fox 64 before the remake is out? I don't know. $5,000 for cancellation. Saw some few artist videos rant on Adobe. Jeez. I always thought that the cancellation fee was like a couple $100 or something. Maybe like roughly 500 or 600, but that's awful, man. Maybe the fees that I was hearing about were mostly for Adobe Premiere. What console do you play it on? I play it on the Switch. Specifically my Switch 2. Like, I pretty much I play just about everything Nintendo related on my Switch 2. I rarely use my Switch 1. But let's see. I was playing Kirby Air Riders yesterday. I made a little bit of progress in Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. It's rough. It's really rough. There's Retro Game Challenge right there. in all of its Japanese text that I cannot read. Oh yeah, I recently started playing the Oregon Trail remake with some friends. It is funny, man. It's cool with some of the things they do, but man, the playthrough with my friends right now is so freaking hilarious. I had one of my friends be this old lady farmer who is also a pessimist, and her morale got so low that she started whining and complaining nonstop on one of the journeys to the next town, and eventually the entire party of all of my other friends got so sick of his bullshit that they ended up kicking him out of the party. And then they wound up meeting up with him later on in the chapter, And his character's like, guys, I'm so sorry. It was really wrong of me. Can you please let me back into the party? I promise I'll be better. And all of our friends were like, hell no! Get out! So our friend is just gone. No longer in the playthrough. He got booted out for complaining too much. It is so funny, man. I recommend you guys go look at this Oregon Trail remake. It is way more compact with game modes and replayability than you might think. So I know looking at it, $30 is a lot, and it's still a lot in this day and age right now with the way the economy is. But if you got the funds and you're looking for a game that's really fun, I highly recommend Oregon Trail remake. So I think it's on PC as well. So if you don't have a Switch, might be able to get it on PC. So, wow, that took you an hour to edit. Oof, there's a way to make that shorter. No, man. I tried going in and trying to find assets and stuff, but no. Not at all. I had to go and I had to make my own transparent PNGs of all the things that you saw on there. I had to go and make a transparent PNG of the health bars. I had to make one of the wrench symbols over my brain. I had to, what else did I have to do? I had to go and make a background for the Andros brain to represent my brain. And then on top of that, I ran into some issues with the blue boxes to go behind the text. For some reason, they were getting put into different timelines. So I don't know what was going on there. But I'd say it was worth it in the end. It was funny. It was funny. Yeah, all the picture alphas in the background. Yeah, it took a while. It took a while. Well made, though. I appreciate it. Which Dead or Alive should I try? Any older titles? Because I can't play PS3 gen games. I mean, really, you can go with any one of them because they all play amazingly well. Like, even the original Dead or Alive from 1996 plays tremendously well. It's not my favorite because the characters aren't fully evolved in that version. Like, they do have really good move sets, but it's nothing compared to the later games, of course. Like, to me, I know a lot of the community really loves Dead or Alive 5 Last Round, which is an immaculate game. To me, I think the best Dead or Alive game ever made was 4. 4, I would say, was like the pinnacle of the franchise. It was the absolute peak Dead or Alive. Truly the best. And then right behind that is Dead or Alive Dimensions. Dead or Alive Dimensions was like, again, perfection. I don't call many games perfect, but Dimensions was perfect. Absolutely perfect. Like, truly the most visually impressive 3DS game I have ever experienced. Truly. Just like the detail in the textures, the character animation, the fact that it can run at a smooth 30 frames per second when the 3D effect is on. And when it's off, it's at a smooth 60. Oh my god, man. It, like, I remember playing that, and then I got Street Fighter 4 3D edition, and then Tekken 3D, and I was like, how the hell did you guys not pick up what Koei Tecmo was putting down here? What the hell happened? It just doesn't make any sense. Is Dead or Alive not on PS2? No, they did PS2, but it was just one game. It was Dead or Alive 2 Hardcore, and that, I think... Is that one considered the better one, or is it Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate? Because both of those versions are really, really good. I think Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate's just hardcore with better graphics. I could be wrong. But I don't know myself, but I know they span a lot of generations. Xbox emulation is a little hard on PC, but maybe you can make it work. Yeah, Xbox emulation's pretty... It's pretty sketchy. I've tried using Zemu and Xenia before, and they're not they're not up to where they need to be. You can get Zemu to work with quite a number of Xbox games, but you really have to go in and fiddle with things yourself before you can go and start playing stuff. Like I was wrestling with Spy vs. Spy for a few weeks before I figured out what was going on. So, anyways, I was supposed to be talking about Summer Games Fest, and then we got distracted with a bunch of stuff, which I appreciate. I appreciate the chit chats. So, but let me see here. We're still doing okay in terms of performance, right? I have dropped 5,689 frames. I don't know what caused that. That's going to be interesting to look back on the replay, though. I guess I'll just go back to Summer Games Fest here real quick and talk about some of the games that I'm really interested in. The Wolf Among Us 2 looks amazing. Definitely going to get the remaster when that comes out later this year. I don't want to talk about that just yet. It was interesting seeing Studio MDHR come out and announce like one thing for 15 seconds. It was a little bit odd. It's like they showed off that Mighty Cuphead adventure and then they just don't talk about a release window of any kind. It's like, what the hell was that? I don't know. That was a bit of a weird reveal. Virtua Fighter looks sick. Looks absolutely sick. And Pychan, damn, dude. Pychan looks amazing. I'm a bit worried about this TMNT game. So I'm going to let you guys in on a little, not secret, but like, I got to talk about this TMNT game. All right. So no spoilers. I have not read The Last Ronin. All right. I haven't. I did have it spoiled for me at one point though. And I called out Screen Rant for that. I was very upset. Very, very upset. Because the spoiler was right in the headline. And it got shown to me because it was either Opera. No, it wasn't Opera because I wasn't using Opera yet. I think I was using Microsoft Outlook or something. No, not Outlook. What's the browser called? Edge. That's right. Microsoft Edge. Such a stupid name. Anyway, I was using Microsoft Edge, and they have something similar to Opera, where you open up a new tab and you're immediately met with like these different news articles and stuff. And they showed me Screen Rant's article about The Last Ronin saying why so-and-so became The Last Ronin. And I'm like, fuck you, man. Fuck you. I was so upset. Like, I even talk about this in my video about spoilers and spoiler culture. But I was just like, dude, this is still a somewhat new story that most people haven't read yet. Nice being here, but I'll go on. See ya. See ya, Lamb. Thank you for stopping on by. I appreciate you. Why is Ryu Hayabusa in Dead or Alive? Is it a collab? No, it's not really a collab. I don't know for sure why he's in the game, but he's been in every game since the very first game. Like, to the point where I think Itagaki has said that Ninja Gaiden is now basically a spin-off of Dead or Alive. It really isn't, but he's said that it's not Dead or Alive is in the Ninja Gaiden universe, it's the other way around now. In which I can understand why he's saying that, because Kasumi, Ayane, Momiji, and Rachel have all been in the games now. And they're like key parts in the stories. So I haven't read it, but I thought the turtle it was as obvious, but judging by your reaction, maybe not. I think I remember which turtle it is, but I prefer not to try and remember it, or else I'm going to get mad again. Because again, I think it's pretty scummy for a pop culture website to just outright say a spoiler in the title of their piece. It's pretty scummy, in my opinion. Because it's like, man, you didn't even let me opt in. Like, you could have said the Last Ronin's identity explained, and that's it. I would have known what the article is about, and it's like, okay, I know not to read this. But no, instead you threw it in a spot where no ellipses was going to interrupt your headline whatsoever. No matter what. So it's just like, thanks. So even though I've had a copy of the book for years and years and years, I still haven't read it. But anyways, that's besides the point. I'm low-key worried about this Last Ronin video game because not only have we... First off, we've known that this game was coming like a handful of years ago. And I understand COVID happened, so can't really do that, you know? You can't really expect a game to suddenly enter full production in the middle of a pandemic where everybody's at home and businesses are like, what do we do? You know? But we've known that there were plans for this game for years, and they're just now settling with a developer. Not only that, but it's Platinum Games. Now, I don't necessarily have too many issues with Platinum Games. I don't think they're that great of a studio, but that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people really like them, between Bayonetta and Nier Automata. The Transformers Devastation game, like, I see the glimmer sometimes, you know? But knowing that they also, I'm pretty sure that they made that one TMNT game that people weren't super jazzed about. What was it called? Mutant, was it that one? Yeah, here it is. They did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan back in 2016. And I remember looking at that game and thinking, why does this combat look so clunky and slow? And I was watching a playthrough of it, and it was just like, it was, I could fall asleep watching it. It was just a lot of empty rooms. A lot of the environments weren't really interesting to look at all. Not that I want a little tour where I'm like, oh, look at this wall, look at this brick, look at this trash can. It's not like that. But it's like, give me something that's a little more imaginative, you know? Like, I know that TMNT is supposed to be in alleyways and sewers and stuff like that. Try to make something cool out of those environments. It's not that difficult, you know? So yeah, that's where, like, a lot of my concern is stemming from, is just Mutants in Manhattan was not a great game, and it was made by Platinum Games. Now, I will admit that this game was from 10 years ago, you know, and they've done a lot more projects since then, so maybe at this point, they kind of understand what they should do for a TMNT game. I would hope so. From what I heard, they did a really good job with Ninja Gaiden 4 last year, so maybe there's some hope, but the fact that it's taken them this long to figure out who they want to make the Last Ronin video game, and then to find out, oh, it's Platinum Games, I'm like, man, I don't know, man. Well, I'm down to look at gameplay whenever they have something, but it's just the confidence is not there for me. We'll see, though. I already talked about Virtua Fighter. Stellar Blade Blood Rain. Oh my god. Looks sick. Looks sick as frick. Ugh. I love it. Looks awesome. I love that we're going a completely new direction. We're not doing a Stellar Blade 2. Oh, Eve's back and now there's more monsters. No, it's a brand new story. And we're focusing on completely new characters. Like, that's cool. That's really cool. I'm glad we're doing that. Really, really glad. My only complaint... So, Stellar Blade's protagonist is named Eve. The protagonist for Stellar Blade Blood Rain is Evie. Really, Shift Up? Really? You don't want to call her anything else. Evie. What's going to be the name of your third protagonist? Yvette? Eva? Eva? Evi? Like, I'm not trying to like give them too much shit because of a pattern. There's not really much of a pattern. You can't say two things are a pattern, but it's just I'm not joking, Spanky. That is actually the name of the protagonist for the new Stellar Blade game is Evie. Evie. It's like you couldn't deviate from that just a little bit. It didn't make much sense. So, she looks cool. Everything about the new Stellar Blade looks just as cool as the first game. It's just that name. I'm like, come on, man. You couldn't call her something else? Who knows? Maybe they'll have an explanation for why that they're phonetically the same in the story. Like, oh, I don't know. Maybe she's like a descendant, or maybe she's a part of a project where Eve was cloned. I don't know. I don't know, man. We don't know much about the story. And the game still looks cool as shit. It's just I wish that let's deviate just a little bit, okay? We don't got to renew we don't got to reuse character names. What's the new guy's name? Adam? Adamy? Adame? So Resident Evil Veronica's that was a cool reveal at the very start of the show. I can't pretend to be hyped about it, not because I don't like Resident Evil and not because I don't like Code Veronica. It's just I have no experience with Code Veronica. So the hypest I got for the remake is just like, oh, cool. I'm glad we're doing this. I'm glad that this is the next game. And it's coming out next year. So I'm going to be there the day it comes out. I might stream Code Veronica at some point. Some point in the future I'll do it. But I don't know about right now, because the things that the news that closed Summer Games Fest have drastically altered my plans. So I'll get right into those. So Capcom announces their fourth wave of DLC characters, and among them is Tifa Lockhart from Final Fantasy VII. And the second she appeared, I heard the angry yells, the smashed doors and tables of half of the Tekken fan base in the world. And the reason why so many of them are so pissed off is because, and I know this because I'm a Tekken fan as well. I've been paying attention to the conversations for the last several years. We in the Tekken community have been wanting Tifa in Tekken for fucking ever. Like, we wanted her as the final DLC character in Tekken 7. Didn't happen. No worries. We got Tekken 8 on the way. So maybe she'll be the first guest character. Nope, it's Clive. Okay, well, it's only year 1. Maybe she'll be guest character next year. Nope. No guest character the following year, and then Season 2 ends up being an utter disaster. Alright, well maybe Season 3. There's that fourth character slot, and it's a character that's not been in a Tekken game. Oh, it's what's his name? Yojiro from Baki. Baki the Grappler. Which is cool, but it's like, okay, well, Tekken 8's not getting Tifa for another year. Okay. Maybe next year. Nope. Not at all. Not on your life, sport. She's going to Street Fighter 6. So I'm like, there's a part of me that's really happy because I own Street Fighter 6 and I might have a reason to go back now and actually play through the damn World Tour mode. But there's also a part of me where it's like, I like Tekken a lot more. I like my 3D fighting games a lot more than my 2D fighting games. So it's why I like Dead or Alive. It's why I like Tekken. It's why I'm fine with arena fighting games. So for some reason, me and the 2D plane, we just don't get along. But the 3D plane, oh my god, I have a field day with those games. So it's like, the fact that she's going to Street Fighter 6, it's like, I have the game, so I don't have any reason to complain. But my god, she's so much more fitting for Tekken. Tekken, man! But I know Capcom's going to do great. Street Fighter 6 is a great game. So, I'm not super pissed like some of the Tekken community is, but the second she appeared, I'm like, "Oh, man. I could hear the volume of the world just now." I could hear the entire, like, I could hear a sizable amount of the world just enough to where I hear, "Oh!" And then right after that big reveal, they get right into it. Jeffy K, he goes, "This is the last reveal. It's time for the final battle to commence." And part 3, the final part of the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy is finally revealed. We finally get to see what it looks like. It looks amazing. And I go, well, I guess it's time then. So within the next week or so, by the end of the month, I will finally start playing Final Fantasy VII for the first time ever. So that's gonna be an interesting experience. I tried playing Final Fantasy VII a few years ago, and I liked it overall. It's just that I got to a part where I just couldn't get past I couldn't get past it, and I think there was the crane puzzle somewhere in Midgar where I was like, I don't even understand what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't understand the controls, blah blah blah. And I think I ended up giving up. I was already at my wit's end with the game because of how much story was in there, but I was an idiot at that time. I was very much anti-story in a lot of games, and I wasn't super familiar with RPGs at the time. So, again, I was an idiot. This time, though, I want to get into it. I really do. I want to see this game through to the end. I want to experience all of the original Final Fantasy VII, and then, in the months leading up to Final Fantasy VII Revelations, I want to make sure that I beat Remake Intergrade, or Intergrade, whatever it's called, the Yuffie DLC. I want to make it through Rebirth as well. I want to get through all 3 of those pieces of the trilogy before I get into Revelations at launch. So, time starts now, basically. It's just, when do I start streaming Final Fantasy VII? We'll see. I want to start it within the next week or 2, though. So be on the lookout for that. Other than that, overall, I would say Summer Games Fest was kind of a C. Like a high C, low B for me. Because there were definitely some moments where it was slow in pacing, and there were a lot of announcements where it was about games that we kind of already knew about. So nothing super exciting there. But overall, I thought it was a solid show. So, high C is not bad. Low B is not bad. Still a good show. Just could have been stronger, you know? So, anyways, let me see. It's 12:01. I don't want to subject you guys to Lego Batman. It's really a lot of boring stuff. And oh my god, is the stream really becoming unwatchable? I have dropped 7,000 frames. You know what? Yeah, I'm just going to end it right here. So, I want to thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you all for sticking with me, even through these weird technical difficulties. So, I apologize that the stream has been a little laggy. The Nintendo stuff was very lame. Oh, it was just sizzle reels, man. Nothing wrong with sizzle reels. Besides, I'm sure that Nintendo Direct is going to happen next week. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen next week. We got Xbox on Sunday, and then I'm sure come Monday or Tuesday, Nintendo will come out and say, hey, in 2 days, we got a Direct for you. So, and then that'll be that. And then we'll know about everything that's happening within the next 6 months. I will say, though, I'm a little surprised that there was no news of GTA 6 this week. Just a little bit. I'm a little bit surprised. However, I do understand that it doesn't matter when Rockstar talks. The second they say anything about GTA 6, the whole internet's going to explode. So, the entire internet is going to explode as soon as that release date drops. So, anyways, Spanky and whoever else is out there, are you guys wanting to watch me sit through Lego Batman and do Riddler shit. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the Riddler stuff is not super exciting. But my plan was to hop on here tonight, talk about State of Play, talk about Summer Games Fest. But, man, I'm dropping frames, dude. I don't know what the hell's going on. This is now the second time in a week that this has been happening. I don't know, man. I might have to give multi-streaming a rest. This ain't it, man. So, sure, man, I'm just playing Elden Ring. I'm just saying it's not exciting stuff. So, I was just going to play this for an hour, but, like, to tell you the truth, I'm actually kind of tired. So, I think I might want to just chill and listen to a podcast or something. I think Sacred Symbols should be out now, right? Should be. I don't know. But I appreciate you guys coming on and chit-chatting and chilling with me. So, I'm sorry I didn't really have much of a game plan, pardon the pun, in terms of, like, what game am I playing tonight. To tell you the truth, I was thinking about Donkey Kong 64, but, man, I'm not... There's a part of me that's like, nah, I'm good. I don't feel like doing collectible shit right now. I already got that going on with Lego Batman. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, I'm still dropping frames. I think it's best that I just end it here. And then I'm going to spend the weekend trying to look into this and figure shit out. So, if I go live again this weekend, it is just me testing shit out. So, I'll probably, like, do a Dead by Daylight stream or some shit. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But anyways, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. The sudden jump in the chat when Music Taste popped up was very funny. It was funny. It was very, very funny. It was also entertaining, though. I had a great time. It was awesome. Anyways, I'm going to go and chip away at Lego Batman on my own and listen to a podcast or something. So I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me and talking with me, chatting with me. So really fun conversations. I appreciate it. So, new video will be out on Monday, by the way. And so be on the lookout for that. Lego Batman review will be on Wednesday. And then I don't know about next Friday. I don't really think that far ahead. So, all right, guys. Y'all take care. Have a good night. Have a good rest of your weekend. Stay safe out there. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye, everybody.